but that's okay.
Okay, now we are live. So, welcome to our, what is this, the fourth or fifth?
Fifth.
Yes, I'm not sure, but it seems like fifth.
Anyway, I'm gonna light a little sage because Ashley just drove in and deleted a lot of stuff from my website. Boy, she's amazing.
Simplifying, huh?
We'll smudge the sacred space. We don't need a lot, but I put a little of your cypress in there.
Ah,
Let's put that back there. And then light a little sweet grass. It's calling in spirit.
yeah.
Let go of the old and bring in the new. Wow. Well, as most of y'all know, I've been struggling with sleep.
Yeah.
And I spent like a week with no sleep. And I guess I was trying to fall asleep a certain way, and that kept me from falling asleep. And then I found out I didn't have to do that. Just go to bed, wake up. And I was so grateful to get at least a night's sleep. And I don't like that the times changes because it gets dark at 4 o'clock, and I get tired. So these classes go. And I was looking at our material here, Living in Gratitude, the books we use.
It's a new month.
It's December now.
Yeah.
Yeah, December prayer. Read that prayer, Ashley.
An Islamic prayer for peace. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, praise be to the Lord of the universe who has created us and made us into tribes and nations that we may know each other, not that we may despise each other. If the enemy incline towards peace, do thou also incline towards peace, and trust in God, for the Lord is the one that hears and knows all things. And the servants of God most gracious are those who walk on the earth in humility, and when we address them, we say peace.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Well, we're going from the west to the north, which is from the mirror, the reflection. That's in my classes. I would have you hold the mirror up in the west direction. And that's the hero's journey. That's what Joseph Campbell says is what's really important to us. So we just went through the Halloween, that energy of going within, looking inside, and now we're right at the falling asleep, which is the elderhood. It's like how, and I'm so happy that I can fall asleep now and not do all this rigmarole I've been doing that keeps me up, because it really has me exhausted.
Yeah.
So I usually say the purest form of prayer is gratitude. And I was rereading The Gifts of the North. That's where we give our presents, buy our presents. I hate to go to the store because everybody's got sales going on. And I actually do more business in January than I do in December. So the January's, they say, uh, gratitude is the purest form of prayer. And I'd like to maybe get Bob's hit on the north direction. You've been around a few times, the wheels.
That um well, for me, this just calls in where I realize the fragility of I don't know, the fragileness of our existence in this form, because of like we do lose the light so much, especially on our latitude up here. It's much more visible than if that living in San Antonio, where you know we didn't lose near as much sunlight, and just the different feels that it gives you when you wake up. You know, I generally wake up about 5:30 or so, and it's just pitch black, and it's pitch black right now, which has been that way since about 4. And what it does, it gives me uh, a period of time where my thoughts kind of get more focused in a sense that I'm not distracted by oh, I wished I was out in the woods. Well, I'd come back an icicle in Minnesota. But that where I've got to find beauty. Just you know, I've got barren trees in front of me, and they're beautiful. I go for a walk, and it's beautiful, except for the wind. Wind is sneaky, and I don't like it at all. I'll give that up next lifetime.
North wind.
But anyhow, that's what there's something unique about the November, and I'll even steal January, that just says go in and look out. There's a lot to find, and you'll find it. So in some way, some sense, this staying in the house as much as I do now, there's a sense of this is where the action's going to go on over the next 6 weeks or whatever. And I never thought in those terms, but when I sit back and think about it, I'm Christmas means nothing to me. New Year's Eve means nothing to me in a participant, I like the celebration if kids are enjoying it and all of that. I'm not a Scrooge. But other than that, they really mean nothing to me. I love Thanksgiving, and I carry that on. I've been spending a lot of time since Thanksgiving. I use that just sort of yeah, I like that. And I had Thanksgiving with a friend of mine. She's the one that invited me to go to Uganda with her, and it looks like it's come off. She's had her bout with cancer, but she's has it in remission now, so that we'll be able to go there, and it'll be really. And I went to her family place there, which is she had. Probably about 15 relatives that had came over from Uganda that were there. And it was interesting being in their culture. And again, what I did was I said my Thanksgiving is to introduce myself and express what I am, what I make up. And these people are all probably Catholic, but it's pure, very much Christian. But they are at a level where they can understand it, differences. And so that was a going to the darkness in a sense. Was it opened up a new world to me to listen to their all their customs and everything. And we discussed a lot of great things, and it was really fun. So that's that's an adventure that has much more to it than just the company that I was there with. It has deep meaning to me, and so there's just fruit out there everywhere, even in the wintertime.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I was rereading all the materials of Angelos Arian, the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, my 51st AA birthday is in January.
Mhm.
So that's the
That's
one I'm most proud of.
that, that- that's a tough one to earn. You did it.
Well, I say 12 steps in the red road.
Yeah, yeah.
The addict, the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous. What is it, Ashley?
I can't. No, it's become unbearable.
We admitted we were powerless over
Powerless.
people, places, and things, that our life was unmanageable. So that's the only one you can take perfectly. You think you can run your life, you haven't taken the first step. The first step is I can't. Of myself, I'm powerless. So I have to hook up. So step 2 is we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. Now, what is the definition of sanity? Well, I looked it up, sane and insane. So we lose our mind and come to our senses. So sanity is balance. So I sit right in between my will and Spirit's will for me. And those are the first 3 steps where we hook up. And then we go within and say, 4th step is when we do a searching and fearless inventory of ourselves. So I gave my sponsor this inventory. I had 76 pages written. And it was all negative. It's what I didn't like about myself. He says, where's the positive? That's not an inventory. An inventory is balance. If you don't take your own inventory, you're not ready. You're not ready to do the cleanup steps, which are the cleanup is the steps 4 through 9. And that's where we do a searching, fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We admit it to God, to ourselves, and to somebody else, the exact nature of where we missed the mark. And then the 7th step is we humbly ask Creator to lift these barriers from love flowing through us. And step 9 is where we made a list of the people we had harmed that had harmed us and made amends to them. That's made direct amends where possible. So that's and then the rest of the last 3 steps, 10, 11, and 12, is where we continue to take a personal inventory And when we're wrong or off the mark, we promptly admit it. And step 11 is where we seek through prayer and meditation to improve that conscious contact with Spirit, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. And the 12th step is, having had a spiritual awakening, we carried this message to others. So that's bring your gifts and share them, whatever your gifts are. And that's the one I'm really, because I haven't had a drink in 51 years. So I'm doing my end of life stuff. Right, I don't have a will. I got a few wants, but I don't have a will. What will you do? I think if we bring our gifts forth and learn to sit in the center of that wheel, because the sacred tree is the other book that we use, the sacred tree. And I sell this in my store. I just ordered a bunch of books today. I was trying to order Braiding Sweetgrass. I know Val Kilmer. I have some old copies that sold for $18. I think they've gone up to 21 or so. Okay, sorry about that. And then Angelus Arian, the feminine description of the four directions is the yin, which is your left side. If you're right-handed, how do we left and then right and then left? So this gets left out. So both and means I am male and female. So there's two types, the male and the female. The female is Angelus Arian, where she says the warrior is in the north. And that's the dancing, walking meditation. So if you get up and take a walk, that's the warrior. So the warrior is one that doesn't sit around, he dances. And in the East, they have the visionary. That's when you wake up, say, we're getting ready to go into the dream time. I'll get a good night's sleep. And I'll wake up. So each day is a new beginning. So, and then in the South, and the visionary is the feminine. In the South is the healer. And the healer is the manifesting essence. If you got a dream, how can you manifest that dream? Bring your gifts and share them with others. And in the West direction is a teacher. And its medicine is silence. So they say the sacred grows in silence. And all those Christmas carols, Silent Night, Holy Night, all is calm, all is bright. So we're going into the dark night of the soul, which is December the 20th, which is the winter solstice. And that's when the shortest day. That's why the Christians put their holidays right next to the pagan holidays. The pagan holidays were built on the four realms from the winter solstice to the spring equinox to the summer solstice to the fall equinox. And we teach 7 classes. 4 7s are 28. So when we go in the sweat lodge to burn away all the rust, it's like going back in Mama's belly to remember why in the hell we're here. So any of those rituals, moving from the body to the spirit, it's a cycle of a breath. I take in, I let go. It's also we fall asleep. So the winter is the dream time. So tonight when you're going to bed, I was fighting sleep and I was exhausted. And then I discovered I didn't have to fight. just let go. And I fell right asleep. And I had all these vivid dreams. Mm-hmm. So the teachers were talking to me and teaching me in my dreams. So this morning I woke up about 4 o'clock and I've been up ever since. I could have had a nap, but the phone kept ringing. And, but I'm so grateful that I don't have to do it the way I was doing it, that I can let go absolutely and move into the dream time. And what we carry into the dream time is the warrior. That's of Angelus Arian, the warrior. The warrior, the visionary, the teacher is in the west, and the healer is in the south. That's the yin aspect. Now the yang aspect is, in the north is the king. So a good king will create a walled garden where things can flourish inside. So the king, the warrior is in the east. The lover is in the south. And the magician is in the west. So if you look at Merlin and all these, what's the magic in your life? The magic of Christmas, where we're singing these beautiful Christmas carols. I love to sing Christmas carols. They're beautiful. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. So we sit the second half of life. This is the other book. It says there's 8 gates of wisdom. There's 8 gates of wisdom that when you hit old age, we come through the silver gate and we go back through the gold gate. And there's 7 gates in between. So as we mature, the fourfold way, we have the left and the right. So I create art. And I know Ashley's been creating art. So I have a beautiful logo, which is the 4 hearts. I had the 4 hearts, and that's my logo. And then, but I didn't have the swirl, the twist. So that's the 5th symbol. So we sit in between the king, the warrior, the lover, and the magician. The magic. The magic, this gets left out. So dream and do is male. Be and feel is feminine. So be here now, as Ram Dass says, there's nowhere to get to. It's a non-progressive great spirit. So that sacred tree says if we stand in the center, that's volition. Volition is intention, attention. That's the first step. What am I tending to? Where are my presents? Like everyone's buying presents. But to give your total presence to another is a whole different way of speaking about presence. Like, I'm going to give all my family, I'm going to send them a card, maybe a little gift. My daughter, my son, my wife. Not take anything for granted, but Mandy has taught me so much. She's the creative fire. She's an amazing teacher. She makes the rattles, the dream catchers, the talking sticks, all the products we sell in the store. Drums, rattles, and flutes. The flute's the hollow bone. That's, I play the flute. And I can solo in the flute, but I'd rather play with the drum, because the drum grounds you. That's your mother. So in the South is the yin, the healer, and the lover. And there's positions like the South is the lying meditation. So who's laying down with you? Who's in your bed? It's the prone position. So in the West is the magician in the male, and then the feminine is the teacher. So, the 5 steps of volition. Remember those, Bob?
I always forget them.
First one is attention, intention. What are you tending to? The second step
Cheating.
is goal setting. Say, I was going to make a drum today, and I did. So I had the phone ringing, and I said, well, I would make it tomorrow. And I said, no, I'm going to make it today. Because I like to stay current on my orders. So I check every day on my orders, and I am current. But that makes it tough for me to get outside.
Mm-hmm.
I like to drive to get groceries, because my car wouldn't start. So my buddy that comes and keeps all the leaves blown out and cleared out. Tomorrow's debris day, so we're going to take out all the trash and recycle and set it next to the curb for pickup. And then now was driving my car today, and it was making strange noises. It was beep, 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 beep. So I said, there's so much this old man doesn't know. I can figure it out with a little help from my friends, but it takes repetition. So it's just not hearing things once. It's repeating, goal setting. The third step is initiating action. Say, I'm going to make a drum today. That's my intention. I did. I made a drum today. It's a 17-inch deer. And the guys are coming tomorrow to clean up all the leaves and put them in the debris and carry everything to the curb so we can empty our trash, our debris, and carry away all the dish. I took down the dish thing that they left because I used to have Dish Network, and they just leave their stuff on your building. So I took that down, and I've got all this junk, and I asked Miguel, who cleans up my place, if he could take all that to the junkyard or wherever it goes. And he says, sure I can. So I'm taking care of business that way. So on Friday, that's when they pick up and dump things. So I can, as long as I'm wheeling them down by but I'm old, so get my friend who speaks Spanish, and I can't speak a word of Spanish. There's a couple of them that speak English, but trying to get some of my English-speaking friends like Mandy and the gal that was here. What's her name?
Which one? The French woman?
Hmm?
The French woman or the...
Yeah.
I forget.
She's the French lady, married to a doctor. She came to my belly button birthday. And it wasn't it, because I wanted to hear it from everyone in the circle. But we had one person come in and monopolize the whole damn thing. It was a mess. It wasn't anything like I planned. So I banished her. Because I've had several incidents where she wants to come over and bring me flowers, but she wants attention. She's starved for attention. And so I've tolerated her for a long time, but if people aren't ripe, you just don't waste your time. Learn to say no, because your yes means nothing until your no's believable. So you can say no, thank you, but if you're used to people pleasing and codependency, you'll do everything to take care of everybody but yourself. So the third step is initiating action. The fourth step is perseverance. Like one day at a time, sweet Jesus. Just keep on keeping on. And the fifth step is completion. Completing. So those are the steps of volition, and they sit in the center of the four directions: the air, the fire, the earth, and the water. Those four directions. So Casey's an air sign, and my sweet Ashley is a fire sign. So air and fire feed each other, but so does earth and water. So we just can't have one. We have to master all those elements. How do I feel about it? What do I think about it? How is it supporting me? So I ask those questions, and I let go of the unripe that aren't willing. because I was completely willing to get sober because I'd tried everything in my life to stay sober and I couldn't. So I finally said, I give up, I need help. And when I surrendered, the help came. And they said, go to 90 meetings in 90 days. So I did. They said, work on your inventory. If you're in a relationship, you'll be working on their inventory. So stay out of relationships the first year and work on your own inventory. So I was ripe to learn. And I'm so grateful that I've gone coming up on 51 years without a drink of alcohol. But it's the first step. I'm powerless over alcohol. I'm powerless over people, places, and things. And the only thing I have control over is my attitude. So if I have an attitude of gratitude, that's given my full presence. So I can initiate, I can have goals. What are the 5? Attention, intention,
Attention, goal setting, initiating action, perseverance,
perseverance,
and completing the action.
and completion. Like stick with it. Don't give up before the miracle happens. So just every day I have a goal to set intentions. And that sits in the middle of those. So when I teach from body to spirit, it's a cycle of a breath. I breathe in, I let go. We die. I'm reborn, I let go. So the cycle of a breath, the cycle of a day. So have an ending. And I've been exhausted because I thought I had to fall asleep. There was something to do. But I said, there wasn't anything to do. Just go to bed and wake up. So I spent about a week with no sleep. And that was a mess. But I got through it. And I'm so grateful that I got through it. So the air, the fire, the earth, the water. That's walking around that whole wheel. So when I make a drum, I start with myself. My first prayer is to me. Then I go to the opposites, air, or for the body, to spirit. That's the way I do. I start with myself and then I go the opposite direction. Now I make offerings to that, and then I come back to center, and then I go out to the east and come back, and my knots, the last 4 that I wrap it with the swirl, and then I wrap it back around. And I make all 4 directions. So the red road is from body to spirit. The black road is from what do I think about it? What do I feel about it? So feelings, how is that supporting me? How is that spirit's will for me? So my codependence is putting other people above your own needs, taking care of everybody but yourself. So walking around this wheel is a lifelong lesson, and its gifts are so wonderful. The gifts of the North, where is that list? The gifts of the North. I love the gifts of the North. The North is air, which feeds fire. We got Ashley and Casey down at the, there we go. Bring up those gifts of the north. So we're going from west to north. West is the unknown. North is when we fall asleep. We're in the dream time. So that's the elders. That's wisdom. These are gifts. We're not entitled to any of these. We have to work for them. So in the north, what do I think? It's a time for knowledge, understanding, speculating, calculation, prediction, organizing, consolidation of power, management of power. That's west. Categorizing, discriminating. How do we get? Oh, there we go. Criticizing, problem solving, imagining, interpreting, intellectual, completion, fulfillment, the end of lessons, finishing, detachment. And I love these: freedom from fear, freedom from love, freedom from hate, and freedom from knowledge. It's seeing things in a holistic way. It's insight, which comes from your third eye. So we will intuitively know. It's consciousness, a balanced life, being centered, moderation in all things, including moderation. And the last one is justice. It's like Isis. Isis is the ones that holds the scales up. But I love that freedom from fear. So when I was afraid I couldn't go to sleep, I was attached. And all attachment creates suffering. So it's in one of the AAs, some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the results were nil until we let go absolutely. Remember, we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. So just doing those 12 steps, I have 16 holes in my drum. I start with the south, my body, my prayer to myself, what I want to manifest. And then I go to the north, which is the red road, from body to spirit. The black road is east to west. That's, what do I think about it? What do I feel about it? What do I think about it? What do I feel about it? So the east is all the gifts of a child, because that's when we wake up. The wake is not mourning people's death, but it's celebrating their life. Everyone mourns and hangs on. My sweetheart died, and I'm heartbroken. Well, look at the gifts that you got from her. Let her go. Let go absolutely of attachments. So, living a balanced life. So we're not entitled to any of these gifts, and I know I don't. You love, this is where in AA they say we love the unlovable. We'll love you till you can love yourself. What's loving? It's giving your presence to another person. So it's not losing track I can remember setting goals. So the air is a great teacher. It's the dream. It's what spirits are telling you in the dream time. The fire, the air feeds the fire. So we got Ashley and Casey, air and fire. They're feeding each other. We got Patrick's water, Bob's air,
Frankie's earth.
water's earth,
Frankie's earth.
Frankie's earth. Beautiful. The water nourishes the earth. So that's how do I feel about it. I love you, Frankie, unconditionally. 'Cause love is never questioned. It's loving is giving your presents to someone else, not buying presents. I hate to go to the Fred Meyer's because of all their Christmas. Even I went to Whole Foods today. I was telling, and my Subaru was making these beeping noise, so I've done something to my Subaru. And my man that cleans up my debris brought me a charger today where I can charge my own car. If the battery's dead, I can take care of it with that charger. So now I got to figure out how to work that to keep it in my car so that if the batteries run down, I can recharge it myself. I don't have to call somebody. And that's a beautiful gift. I can take my battery to have it tested if I can drive. So I'm grateful that I have, at least can get my car started. And I've got some help. He's coming tomorrow. I said, can you take away the junk like that dish and all the things that aren't working that I accumulate? Take it to wherever you take it. And he says, sure, you're my boss and you're my friend. So I'm grateful to have somebody that's helping with all the leaves that fall down. I had my awning in the back cleaned off. It's beautiful. And now they're going to seal it so it doesn't leak. So my awning leaks. So I'm taking care of business, getting some shelter so I can go out there and have a hot tub in the morning and start my day in the water. Because I'm a water sign. So they're taking a shower and washing my hair. Wash off yesterday. Mandy takes 2 showers a day. So she's been my great teacher. She's not a manager, but she's the most creative woman I've met. And when she can create product like crazy. She's coming in January for 6 weeks. So I'll be grateful to, and she's going to come back every season so we can, I can enjoy her presence here, but I can also enjoy her when she's in London with her grandkids. So I'm grateful for her. But she's taught me how to keep a plant alive. I had this beautiful, this flower that, how do I get back out of here? Let's go back to, there we are. I had this beautiful flower. It's just to say, there's hope for the flowers. So it's earth. I've been watering it and feeding it, and I've got all my plants I'm taking care of. Mandy taught me that. So I water my plants every week. I go out in the hot tub, start my morning 10 feet out of my bed, right in the hot tub. And what a beautiful way to start my day. And set my intention. I'm only open by appointment, so I don't have to, people that want to come in has to have an appointment. I don't have to, I deal with a lot of spam calls, but pretty much I'm able to take care of myself now. And I'm so grateful. And gratitude is the purest form of prayer. So whatever you got to be grateful for. So I'm going to get some simple gifts. But the true gifts is giving your presence to another, giving your attention. Who are you tending to? So Bob does that with this gal from Africa. So you might go on an adventure. But I've got an attorney. They're working on my personal will, so I can get that taken care of. I'll say I need a few wants too. What will you do? So there's my will, and there's Spirit's will for me. So that's the 12 steps. Of myself, I'm powerless. So I have to hook up every morning. I say your chi leaves you in the dream. So every morning you wake up in the bondage of self. So you need to hook up, hook back up. You're not entitled to any of these gifts, you have to work for. And then the center is the volition. So there's two. I love Angela Sari in this book right here, The Fourfold Way. This is the one that is the yin part. That's the one that has the warrior in the north, the dance, the one that dances, walking meditation. And in the north, and in the east is when you wake up, all the gifts of a child. Say spontaneity, a love that does not know itself, creativity. All my creative fire is in the east. That's the yang. Dream and do. Men like to dream and do. The yin likes to be and feel. So you're going into the black road is is all the gifts of a child all the way up through adolescence. Then we become adults in the South, and then as that day moves on, we move into close to the dream time where we are right now, and then we go to bed and hopefully we fall asleep and repeat that. That's the black road. So having both and having my left side. So I've been creating art with my left side, and then creating art with my right side, and then doing it together. And keeping journals and journals, I must have 500 journals that I've kept ever since I got sober, with my thoughts and feelings, so I can go back to 1980 and see exactly where I was. And that's quite a beautiful thing. I was pretty damn smart back then. But I didn't have the wisdom. That's the gift of the elders, Bob and I. But when you hit past 80, in grad school, we had to tell at what age were we going to die. Simple question. And you would assume people are going to put a big number. I'm going to live to 100. Some people say, no, I'm going to live to 50. So every night I die. I die to the dream. I let go. I relax. What a blessing that's been. It's just been 2 days, and I can actually fall asleep and wake up and not have to do this trying to fall asleep and exhausting myself. But I guess we need to learn detachment from the suffering. If I'm going to live, I say my grandma lived 103, so you got to treat your body pretty well if you're going to, and all that stress I've been doing is not good on my body. So I'm so grateful to have the ability to just relax and not try and just drift into the dream. What time is it?
7:30.
7:30. What else we got on that thing we can? Has anybody got any comments about that, Bob?
Well, pondering about when am I going to die, I decided I'm going to live to the day before I die. So there. And I just solved my pondering. I don't have to solve any problems with that.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus.
Beautiful.
And I really appreciate the Islam prayer because it was really just beautiful of itself, but it did my heart good to refresh a religion that has so many problems, still has that essence to it.
Problem is twofold. So people don't change unless there's a crisis.
Yeah.
They don't change if it's just an idea. It takes a crisis. So I say, if there ain't no crisis, create one.
Yeah.
Because that's what changes people. I'm not entitled to anything. I have to work for these gifts. If I think, well, I'm entitled to Social Security. Yeah, right. You're not entitled to a damn thing. I'm my own best healer. In the morning as a child, I wake up with new eyes. Wow, that's Frankie. So if Frankie's loved by Mama and Papa, he's going to be full of love himself and do magical things. That's all we need is love. Loving, not love, but loving. So how am I Patricking down here? And how are you Bob hauling down up there?
Bali, yes.
Man from San Antonio is now living in up where his son
Hopkins,
lives.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Well, I spent a year in Fargo, North Dakota, right across the street from Moorhead, Minnesota.
Yes, you were there.
I had a Honda Prelude. And that snow would start whipping up and those winds would come and it'd freeze the block in your damn car. So you had to have a heater for your car. Just couldn't drive up there. But I was doing a campaign for the Lutheran Church of America. $100 million campaign. We went to every little Lutheran church. I remember I went to one right up in Williams, Minnesota, which is right on the border of Canada. There was a little church up there. And I had the bishop with me. He started talking about giving stimulates giving. If you're generous, say the gifts of the elders is to give back, it's to tell your story. Your story has power, whatever your story is.
I think one thing that's important in that area is that it's a lesson I think I learn and I lose and I learn and I lose, but that giving is receiving. And so it's not like you have to suffer in giving away stuff. You just give it, and
The laws of circulation.
yeah, it's just, everybody, that's really, I think, a core need of humans is to contribute.
I didn't hear that.
It's a core need of humans to contribute.
I went to this church up there in Williams, Minnesota, and we gave our pitch. And everybody, those Norwegians are pretty ice cold. So they just looked at us. We said, if you give, it'll stimulate you.
Yeah.
Nobody gets poor through giving.
Yeah.
So they just all looked at me. Finally, this one little woman came up and she said, we were looking for 3-year pledges. And this one woman got up and says, well, somebody built this church before I came here. I don't have a lot of money. I buy a cup of coffee every morning. It costs me 50 cents. I say, if I gave up that cup of coffee and gave 50 cents for over a 3-year period, that's a $500 pledge, and I'm going to do that. I don't know what the rest of y'all are going to do. She sat back down.
That's beautiful.
And they all gave, and that broke the ice. It was so beautiful to see that nobody gets poor through giving. So giving is its own reward. So giving your attention, tending to what's in front of you. So I've made a lot of progress, but I've got some things to go, thank God. But if I'm gonna live past 100, I gotta treat my body a little better. Rather than getting stressed out all the time, just relax. So getting out there in the water every morning. I've been way out of whack, but now I'm back in whack. So,
You unwhacked yourself.
what's that?
I said you unwhacked yourself.
Yes, I did. Trying is lying, and I was trying to fall asleep rather than just relaxing. Rub-a-dub-dub, just relaxing in the tub. That's, when you relax, spirit comes in. If you're dry, you're lying. So, this is a personal thing. It's an inward journey. The inward journey is the hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell, the man with 1,000 faces. So I'm a king, a warrior, a magician, a lover. That's the male archetype. The female is the warrior in the north. The posture is dancing, walking. There's a walking meditation. And in the east is the visionary. That's the wake. Now wake up. Wake up with new eyes. Don't wake up with yesterday. Don't leave dirty dishes in the sink. So I fixed a beautiful meal today. I fixed some chicken soup. Now I got some buffalo pasta sauce and chicken soup to get me through the winter. So I treat myself good food. I'm grateful that I don't have I don't spend a lot of money because I cook for myself. I don't go out to eat. Like this place down on the corner of the screen door, people waddling out of there, way overweight, carrying a lot of excess. So when we trim down, like Mandy is thin, and fear is layers of fat. So if the bears put on a lot of fat because they go into hibernation, that's where they birth the bear goes into the heart. So the heartline bear is, I have that down in the store. Martin High Bear blessed my store. And he was a Teton Sioux medicine man. And we asked Martin, what should we sell in our store? He says, well, the elders need medicine, so you can sell sage and sweetgrass and the herbs, because people will give you a lot of guff over it, but do it anyway. That's the giveaway. That's not forgetting your purpose. I don't want to be rich. I've got enough. I've got more than enough. And gratitude is the purest form of prayer. So I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful that I could actually go to sleep tonight. And they're coming tomorrow to clean up my backyard, seal my overhang so it doesn't leak all over my stuff. And that's beautiful, to have friends that support me. Of how do I feel supported? So that's the circle. In AA, there's no leaders, there's only trusted servants. So the circle, we sit in circle. That circle is one of the 5 symbols. Remember the 5 symbols?
I do.
Well, what are they?
Square, circle, triangle, cross, and spiral.
Beautiful. Did you remember those, Bob?
I do now. I think I could have come up with those 5, but I might have left one out.
What time is it, guys?
7:40.
7:40.
Yeah.
I think the December 20th is the darkest night. So we're moving towards the winter solstice. I still have visions of back in 1974. See, I had my last drink in January of 1975. But 1974 was the dark night of the soul. So I was drunk. I didn't care about anything except the next drink. I was completely addicted. And I had to say, I quit, I need help. And that takes that detachment from suffering and reaching out, and the help came. So when life brings you to your knees, you might find that's a good time to pray. We have, what's today, December the 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
20th is the, so we'll have, how many more classes?
I think
Got
2 more.
2 more?
Mm-hmm.
Got 2 more classes. 6 and 7 next week. 6 next week, 7 on the solstice.
Okay.
And Ashley, what do you got to say?
Well, I'm thinking a lot about the idea of, all the deaths and beginnings that we have in our life. Because Casey and I have the intention to have another baby.
Yeah?
So I'm mentally preparing for that because I know it's, it's bittersweet because our life is perfect.
It's beautiful.
So, but it can be even better, but it'll be different.
Different.
Good.
You bring those new ones in.
Mm-hmm.
That's your gift.
It is.
Children are the gifts.
It is. But it's the unknown, It's the
Yes.
unknown. You don't know. We may not be able to, we may lose it,
That's the
A lot of
unknown.
things happen. A lot of things happen. So there's fear.
Sure.
And then there's just, the fear of my body changing. But that'll happen regardless if I have a baby.
Yes.
So that'll happen regardless. But it's just hard. It's a hard thing to have a baby.
Well,
Especially for the woman.
yes. That's why we go in the sweat lodge, because we go back into mama's belly to remember why we're here. Because those children are sent from spirit.
Yeah.
They're spiritual beings.
I'm sure glad y'all do it because I don't know a guy yet that would have the courage.
We supply the seeds.
That's right.
Draw the apple seed. You gotta fertilize, that's the beater, the drumstick. The egg is the drum. So when you have the male pounding on the skin, that's sex. Pound, pound, pound. And if you're still, in the cycle, you still have that potential. And that's beautiful. If it comes, that's beautiful. If it doesn't come, that's perfect too. That's quite a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I vote for coming because this world needs people like you raising kids.
Mm.
So we have new creatures, new ways of looking at life.
Well, I'm so grateful that I can keep the plant alive. Man, I owe Mandy that. So the true gifts are the ones that keep giving. So I think it's important for all of us to tell our stories because they have great power. Just to tell your story, your experience, your strength, and your hope. That's what we do in AA meetings. Don't work with the people that aren't willing, because all the treatment centers are saying, you got to go to the AA meetings. People that are told they have to go, they're not ripe. So you got to be willing to go to any length. That was my experience. and realize that drugs, alcohol and drugs don't fit in my circle. But plant spirits have a lot of power, like all the ketamine. There's doctors here that do psilocybin and all these teacher plants. They aren't drugs. They come from the earth. So the earth and water. So when we walk around that wheel, we have to complete. I am the air, I am the fire, I am the earth, I am the water. And then I finish that off and I pull it like I finished a drum today. Made a 17-inch deer drum. And I say, wow, I can get current on my shipping tomorrow. Because I actually took the time to create a drum. But my head said, I need to do this, I need to do that. So I just did what was in front of me. And it felt pretty daggone good. So tomorrow I'll get it in the mail and say, well, that takes care of my business for today. So I'm current. So staying current. That my point of power is today. If I get into what if, that's not real. One day at a time. So I'll do all my dishes tonight and I'll go to bed with the kitchen clean. Now I'll get up and fix myself a good breakfast, good lunch, and a good dinner. And it's beautiful to be able to take care of myself that way, and I owe a lot of that to my partner, Mandy. So she is a whirlwind. She can get more done than, so she takes the time to take care of the plants, and she taught me that. So I'm so happy that I can bring these plants in and water them every week, keep them alive, keep them talking to me. Because if you got plants in your life, Bob said he had a cactus, but it died.
Wasn't my fault. Cactus are supposed to be able to live a long time without water.
Okay, well,
Just one thing, you know the story that you told about the lady that donated her 50 cents a
yeah.
day. There's a story very similar by Lynn Twist in The Soul of Money. That was one of the things that was really set her off for this was a great fundraiser for
The World Hunger Project.
yeah. And but anyhow, she went to a very poor black church, and you know somebody that was a maid stood up, an African American, and you know said $5 is really a whole lot of money to me, but here it is. And she had been raising money with very very rich people, but she went there and she said that was my favorite, the most sacred money that I ever came across, and stuff like that. So it's very similar stories, and that's where you really have a role model.
That's like Ashley buys all the books. Now the next step to read them.
I read the ones I want to read.
Yeah,
I do. Sometimes I just don't want to read them.
yeah. Well, books that's knowledge. It's like telling your story, but keeping your own journal, writing your own book, and gratitude, staying in gratitude. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this meeting. I love both of you guys. Bob, you got to see those pictures that we sent you.
Okay, was it in an email?
Oh, it was texted, wasn't it?
Yep.
Bob Hall. You'll see him.
Okay, I'll go chase them down. I'm not real good with my email.
It's just in your text message.
I mean, I'm not. That's what I said the wrong thing. I'm not good with text messaging because I just, for some reason, I get so many of them, especially when most of them are scam,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
then it stacks them on top of each other, and I just want to look at one, and it's just so I ignore them.
Well, I'm glad you're here, buddy.
Well, thank you.
If nobody told you they love you today, I do.
Well, I love you back. I love you back.
Okay, guys.
Love you guys too.
I believe we're ready to stop the recording and make a prayer to all of you to keep us all safe until we gather again next week for the sixth, next to last class.
All right.
Oh.
Aho. See you guys.
Bye bye.
Take care.